Jeffrey Epstein, right? I think we all know at this point, especially if you've been following it for years, maybe decades now, that there is a conspiracy behind Jeffrey Epstein. It's one that I think if you just use your common sense, you know something fishy has been going on. But what is the cover-up? Is the cover-up his actual death, the murder, everything happened surrounding it? I really don't know, and I keep trying to ask myself, what is the actual outcome of what just happened? Because I think the majority of people, especially all of the social media that I've been following, everybody with accounts, just average people as well, everybody believes that Jeffrey Epstein did not end himself. And they definitely believe that there's more to it than him just getting some very discreet personal massages. I mean, at the end of the day, what did Ghislaine Maxwell go to jail for? What is she convicted of if there was no client list, if there were no clients, if there were no abused sexual victims? Something's going on here, and it's terrible that our politicians, whoever they are, and unfortunately it seems the Trump administration is a part of this cover-up now, because they're the ones, when he first took office, were telling us that they were going to release all of the info. Now there is no info. Now everything happened the way we're expected to believe it happened. There is no conspiracy. There's no child sex trafficking. There's no government cover-up. There's no tie with Mossad. There's nothing weird happening all of a sudden when everybody believed even it. Those that were leading the charge like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel. So unfortunately, my thought keeps coming back to, what do we do about this? Because our government's just going to tell us whatever it wants, just like it did about JFK. And even if we see the writing on the wall, we just have to accept what they tell us, and that's terrible. There's no recourse. And I just keep thinking, the way politics are carrying on, they're becoming more and more dangerous to the civilian. They're becoming more and more dangerous to the average person, especially after the whole debacle that we went on for 4 years where we had to wear masks. It's time that I think politicians need to be held responsible for what they pass into law, what they say, and any kind of fraud they partake in, especially if it's years down the line. I think there has to be some natural recourse. And how do you go about this, right? I wish I knew. I almost feel like that when you take political office, certain parts of your rights need to diminish a little bit so you can be a little bit more naked in front of the American people. That means you can't plead the fifth. You don't have a right to pleading the fifth when you're asked to take the stand or tell the truth to the American people. And it'll probably go deeper than that. My thing is, like, what is this cover-up? We know Jeffrey Epstein's lawyer said that he saw a list. We had people tell us there was a list. There were videos, and now nothing. The day the final conclusion to the Jeffrey Epstein case comes out, Bibi Netanyahu visits the White House. All of this stuff is not coincidence. I don't really believe in these type of coincidences. I don't believe like there's something terrible that happens in Texas with the flooding, and then all of a sudden they drop this case on us that it's solved, that there was no case, that there was no conspiracy theory. And I really believe like the only way we're going to deal with these cover-ups, regardless of what side you believe you're on, is we have to hold politicians accountable. And I don't think it's through violence like that, because you really can't get away with violence. Like, what is it going to be? One person, two people do something violent, and then what? There's no outcome. Nothing happens. Nothing changes in the long process. The politicians or the leading authorities, they just figure out new ways to control us so those type of things don't happen. Is there a way to make politicians responsible for the statements they make, for the laws they pass, that's reasonable? And out of this whole Jeffrey Epstein debacle, which we can't do anything about it now, maybe 60 years down the line we'll figure out, yeah, there was something shady that we could now say, but it'll be too late to do anything. That the only way we get past this that's functional is making some sort of political accountability. Politicians need to be accountable for what they do and what they say. And I know I've repeated that numerous times throughout this video, but that's what I'm really gathering with this whole Epstein debacle.